ต่อไปเป็นการฝึกทักษะจากการทำกิจกรรมที่ 5 ในเรื่อง 8.1.2 Investment นะคะ
8.1. Point 2. Investment. Activity 5. Warm-up. Listen and repeat. 1.
Local companies.
2. Prospects for investment. 3.
Improvement in pre-tax profits.
4.
A bonus share issue.
5.
Surplus capacity.
6. Inefficiency and price cutting. 7.
Competition by foreign companies.
8.
We're interested in.
9.
I wondered if you could.
10. We've got our eye on. 11.
Would you recommend?
12.
If they become insolvent.
13.
If the selling price is reasonable.
14. Their position looks fairly strong. 15.
Their turnover went up.
16.
They're in difficulties.
17.
Their dividend increased by 10%.
18. They have agreed to defer the debt. 19.
They'll be declared bankrupt.
20.
They'll go into receivership.
Listen to the following dialogue. GTC's president, Victor Barnett, is telephoning an investment advisor, Tiwa Udom Khan.
Hello, is that Kuntiwa? This is Victor Barnett of GTC.
Oh, hello, Mr. Barnett. How have you been since I last saw you?
Very well, thanks. How about yourself?
Not so bad, thank you. I can't complain. What can I do for you?
I'm calling because we're interested in building up our investments. And I wondered if you could tell me something about a couple of local companies and the prospects for investing in them.
By all means. Which ones were you thinking of?
There are two that we've got our eye on, actually. The first one is Pranacorn Engineering. Have you any information on them?
Pranacorn Engineering. Let me see. Ah, yes. I've got their report for last year here. According to this, their turnover went up, and they had a 64% improvement in pre-tax profits. Their dividend increased by 10% over the previous year.
So you would recommend buying their shares?
Yes, I would, if the selling price is reasonable. Their position looks fairly strong, and they stand a good chance of making a profit this year. And they're offering a bonus share issue.
Are they? What's the offer? And are there any conditions?
Investors who buy shares and keep them until April 2009 will receive a free issue of shares. 1 free share to every 10 bought.
Well, in that case, it might be worthwhile buying some Pranacorn Engineering shares. And the second company I want to ask you about is the Strong Tyre Company. Have you anything on them?
Strong Tyre? You'd better keep clear of them.
Oh, why's that?
They're in difficulties, and their shareholders got no dividends this year.
Is that so? I didn't realise they were in trouble.
Yes, they've suffered an increase in their losses and debts due to surplus capacity, inefficiency, competition by foreign companies, and price cutting. The lending bankers have agreed to defer the debt so far and have taken security against Strong's assets.
I suppose they'll have to start selling off their assets to pay the debts then.
Yes. In fact, they've already sold one of their factories to a Japanese competitor.
What happens if they become insolvent?
They'll be declared bankrupt and will go into receivership. Then all the company's assets will be liquidated to pay its creditors. Naturally, the shareholders will lose their investments if that happens.
Well, thanks for the warning. I hope we never get into the same position.
ต่อไปเป็นการฝึกทักษะจากการทำกิจกรรมเรื่อง 8.2.1 About Banking
(8.2.1) About banking. Activity 11. Listen and repeat. Common vocabulary in banking. Verb and noun.
Cash.
Cash.
Deposit.
Deposit.
Save.
Savings.
Lend.
Loan.
Transfer.
Transfer.
Wire.
Wire.
Invest.
Investment.
Deal.
Deal.
Reserve.
Reserve.
Withdraw.
Withdrawal.
Profit.
Profit.
การฝึกทักษะการฟังการพูดจากกิจกรรมที่ 13 เรื่องที่ 8.2.2 Foreign Exchange
(8.2.2) Foreign exchange. Activity 13. Warm up. Listen and repeat. 1.
I'd like to cash some traveler's checks.
2.
They go to the foreign exchange section.
3.
How much would you like to change?
4.
What's the exchange rate today?
5.
Could you countersign them now, please?
6.
What denominations would you like?
7.
Could you just check to make sure it's correct?
Listen to the following dialogue. Michael Winston, the president of KFB Company, is going abroad on a business trip and needs to buy some traveller's checks at the bank. Williams Johnson, who is visiting KFB on business, also has to go to the bank to cash some of his traveller's checks. They go to the foreign exchange section of the Bank of Sukhothai together.
Good morning. May I help you?
Good morning. I want to buy some traveller's checks, please, and this gentleman would like to cash some. Can you do that for us?
Certainly. Would you like to sit down?
Mr. Johnson, why don't you cash your traveller's checks first?
All right. Well, I'd like to cash some of these express traveller's checks, please.
Yes. We can accept express traveler's checks. How much would you like to change?
$500, I think. What's the exchange rate today?
The exchange rate for traveler's checks is 45 baht to the dollar.
I see. Well, in that case, I'll change 5 $100 checks.
All right, sir. Could you countersign them now, please? And I'll need to see your passport.
Right, here's my passport.
And would you mind writing your name and address in Thailand on this form? It's just for our records.
Okay. I'm staying at a hotel. Shall I put the room number?
Yes, please. Thank you. Now, how would you like the money?
I beg your pardon?
What denominations would you like?
All in 500s, please.
Right. The total comes to 22,500 baht. Here's the money, your receipt, and your passport. Could you just check to make sure it's correct?
Okay. It's all there, thanks.
การฝึกทักษะการฟังการพูดจากกิจกรรมที่21เรื่องที่ 8.3.2 Type of Insurance
(8.3.2) Types of insurance. Activity 21. Warm up. Listen and repeat.
1,
The automobile insurance.
2,
Liability insurance.
3,
Casualty insurance.
4,
Credit insurance.
5,
Financial loss insurance.
6,
Health insurance and life insurance.
7,
Nuclear incident insurance.
8,
Political risk insurance.
9,
Terrorism insurance.
10.
Travel insurance. Listen to the following dialogue. Nirun, personnel manager to a Thai firm in Bangkok, is attending a training program in risk management in New York. He talks to Robert Cook, an employee in an insurance firm in New York, to find out about types of insurance commonly known in the US.
Right. Shall we go through certain types of insurance which are common here? Then perhaps you can make a comparison.
Yes, let's.
First, of course, there's the automobile insurance, which is the most common form of insurance and may cover both legal liability claims against the driver and loss of, or damage to, the vehicle itself.
I think it works more or less the same as in our country. What about casualty insurance? Does that cover accidents?
Yes, it insures against accidents not necessarily tied to any specific property. Then there's the credit insurance, which pays some or all of a loan back when certain things happen to the borrower, such as unemployment, disability, or death.
I see. I haven't heard of credit insurance, but we have what we call a guarantor, who will take the responsibility of paying back the loan should something happen to the borrower. What do you call the kind of insurance which protects a company against disasters such as floods or fire?
Oh, that's called financial loss insurance, since it protects individuals and organisations against financial risks. For example, a business might purchase cover to protect it from loss of sales if a fire in a factory prevents it from carrying out its business for a period of time.
That's one form of risk management practiced by most firms or organizations. After the tsunami in the south of Thailand, most hotels would have gone out of business had they not been insured against some kinds of natural disasters. And of course, we must not forget to mention health insurance and life insurance, which are common everywhere now. But were not so in our country until recently.
We all know it takes time to convince a lot of people to be prepared for things that may or may not happen in the future. But now we hear of nuclear incidents insurance, political risk insurance, and terrorism insurance. After the September 11th incident, we feel that anything can happen anywhere.
I agree with you. Another type of insurance, which is closer to the modern lifestyle, is travel insurance, isn't it?
That's right. People who travel want to be insured against losses such as medical expenses and theft. And I must mention liability insurance, which covers legal claims against the insured. You may have heard that in the US, everyone is suing everyone else all the time. Well, under liability insurance, we have, for example, a homeowner's insurance policy which provides the insured with protection in the event of a claim brought by someone who slips and falls on the property and brings a lawsuit for his or her injuries. Similarly, a doctor may purchase liability insurance to cover any legal claims against him if his negligence in treating a patient causes the patient injury or monetary harm.
Oh, well, Robert, does your liability insurance entitle you to make a claim against people keeping you from lunch, which is damaging to your health? Let me take you to lunch, and perhaps we can talk about other lighter subjects.
จบ Dialogue หน่วยที่ 8